Hi everyone, welcome to the new Maroon 5 cover band podcast. My name is Zachary Lowe, and we've got something pretty special for y'all this morning. We're taking this podcast platform, as you can see, to a video platform. We're going to try to do this more often instead of switching over to the I don't know, it depends. I think overall we would prefer to go straight video from here on out with the podcast, but you know, things are always up in the air. Sometimes it's easier to just do an audio thing. So we're going to see how this goes, but we're very excited to move the podcast in this new direction. Before we get started today, I would, just kind of like to apologize for, taking so long and actually getting started on our next album. We're wrapping up V, as we've talked about on previous podcasts. We still have one more song to go on that. We have a special guest for that last track that we're really excited about bringing onto the project. But overall, that one's pretty much done. So there's really no excuse for us to be dilly-dallying so long on getting to the overexposed commentary record. Which kind of leads me to my next point, which I guess I should sort of address the white elephant in the room, which is to say that there is no white elephant in the room. And you probably noticed that Joseph Smolin is not with me today. It is because he is in rehab again for his 5-hour energy debacle, and he's on his way to a recovery, hopefully. Haven't really gotten around to visiting him. I've been really busy with moving all my stuff out of my house. I'm actually in my new apartment now. It's a little bare, as you can see, but we're moving on. We're making moves. We're climbing up, and I think this new video direction is kind of showcasing that in a way. It's proving to you, the fans, the followers, the family, that we can make this work, and we're going to stick to our word as best as we can. So with that said, I'm taking it upon myself to go ahead and record the first two tracks of the overexposed commentary album by myself. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to sort of do both voices, both the voice of Adam and the other guy, which initially Joseph was going to be doing Adam and I was going to be doing the other guy, but I think it's high time that we just jumped right into this project. So I'm taking it upon myself, sort of taking the bull by the horns, and gonna do that. So keep your eyes and ears out for the first track of the overexposed commentary album, which is I can't remember which track it is exactly. Let me look it up. Let's boot up the old Spotify here. The first track that I will be covering off of the overexposed commentary album is One More Night Commentary. And again, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to this next album in particular. It is a little bit of a break, so which isn't to say that it's not gonna have its own challenges and tribulations, but I think it's gonna be a good way to get us in the mindset of Adam and crew, and whoever else is, I can't remember the other guy's name for the life of me, who's on this commentary album. But I think it's going to be a good way for us to like really delve into the psyches of these great men that we're trying to emulate. We're kind of it's sort of like acting, I guess. I know there's a lot of different methods for acting, and like some actors go like it's called a method actor approach, and so they sort of live, breathe, and become the characters that they're going to perform as in these films. And I think we're going to kind of do that with overexposed commentary. I think it sort of, it's the type of project that needs that sort of intensity and dedication to. So that's, I don't know if Joseph's going to do that same thing. I don't know how long he's going to be in rehab. I don't want to be insensitive about this, because I know that he has a real problem, and he's, kudos to him for trying to nip it in the bud and getting things straightened out. But it's frankly not fair to the fans, to you guys. It's not fair to me as his partner in this venture. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to record one more night commentary track by myself, doing both voices. When he comes back, if he has some complaints about it, I'm just going to have to set the record straight and say, you know what, I did what I had to do. Frankly, you weren't there for me and us in this project, so I had to go for it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm really excited about this. I think we're back on track as a podcast, as a band. I don't know if we'll be playing any more shows recently or within the next couple of weeks, because quite frankly, it's very hard to put on a one-man show. It's hard enough as it is to put on a one-man podcast, but as you're seeing, I'm doing it. So we're moving forward, and I'm excited about it. So this podcast is probably going to be a little bit shorter today, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to, with all the housekeeping stuff out of the way, sort of jump right in and talk about the gang, the guys, Adam and crew, Maroon 5. So I'm just going to kind of read into a little bit about their background information. I've got their Wikipedia page pulled up, and I just figured we'd kind of learn a bit more about Adam and crew together. Because quite frankly, there's always new things that I can discover as well in this in reading about Maroon 5. Some of this I know, obviously. I'm in a band that's dedicated to covering this other band, so I kind of have a bit of a disadvantage. I have an advantage over some of the fans because I'm dedicated to this project. But again, it's always nice to have a refresher. So I'm just going to start reading. Maroon 5 is an American pop rock band from Los Angeles, California. It currently consists of lead vocalist Adam Levine, keyboardist, and you guys get the picture. He's got it's Adam and crew. But here's where it gets interesting: is the original members started. Adam Levine and the rest of them started and first came together as Kara's Flowers in 1994 while they were still in high school. So these guys have been around for a while. That's like 27 years they've been around, and sure, they weren't always Maroon 5, but these guys are pros. What can I say? But I think that's a fun fact that most people don't know. Even pretty diehard fans of Maroon 5 don't really know that Kara's Flowers was really the first iteration and rendition of Maroon 5 under the leadership of Adam and of Adam, and they still have pretty much the same original members. After self-releasing their independent album We Like Digging ? The band signed to Reprise Records and released the album The Fourth World in 1997, so just 3 years later. The album garnered a tepid response, after which the record label dropped the band and the members focused on... What does tepid mean? Only slightly. It was lukewarm, a lukewarm response. So, but you got to start somewhere. You can't really fault them for, not, having a 10 out of 10 record the first round. Like, that's hard to do. Few bands do that. So I don't count that against them at all. And then also they went to college right afterwards. So it's like they sort of refocused. And then in 2001, the band reemerged as Maroon 5, pursuing a different direction and adding a guitarist. The band signed with Octone Records, an independent record label with a separate joint venture relationship with J Records, and released their debut album, Songs About Jane, in June 2002. Aided by the singles Harder to Breathe, This Love, She Will Be Loved, the album peaked at number 6 on the Billboard 200 chart and went quadruple platinum in 2005. In the same year, the band won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist. In 2006, Dusick left the band after separating from... What does he do? He's... Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so they... one of the band members left. The band's second album, It Won't Be Soon Before Long, great record. I wouldn't say it's like, their best, but it's still, it's a banger. It Won't Be Soon Before Long was released in May 2007. It debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200 chart, and lead single Makes Me Wonder became the band's first number 1 single on the Billboard Hot 100. 2010, the band released the third album, Hands All Over, Moves Like Jagger, you all know that one, to favorable reviews, re-releasing a year later to include the single Moves Like Jagger. Holy wow, I didn't know that. So originally, I guess, holy shit, originally it didn't even have Moves Like Jagger. That's incredible. Best song on the record, great idea to re-release. But it did have Misery, which, everyone loves that one. It was like Jagger, it was replaced by, someone else left. But for the most part, the band's still intact. The band released the fourth album, Overexposed, with the song One More Night, topping the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 9 consecutive weeks. In 9 weeks, that's like over 2 months. That's crazy. In 2014, Carmichael, what did he do? Jesus Christ. So a few more guys. A few more guys added on to record the fifth album, V. Roman numeral pronounced 5. What? Hang on. Holy shit. Oh wow, that's interesting. Oh god damn it. We've Wow, this whole time we've not been pronouncing it right. Okay, so V, is actually 5. I knew that V stood for Roman numeral 5. Everyone knows that, obviously. I just didn't, I didn't know that it was supposed to be pronounced 5. Wow, that's really interesting. well, I don't really know what to do. I don't know if we should apologize for this or not. I mean, like, we didn't know. But I guess, like, yeah, so from now on, we'll just make sure to call V5. So, if you ever go back and listen to our other podcast episodes, just keep in mind, whenever we're talking about V, we're actually talking about 5. So yeah, they came out with 5, and with the band signed to Interscope Records and Levine's own label, 222 Records. Following the release of V, it reached number 1 on the Billboard 200. Excuse me. In 2016, Maroon 5 recruited their longtime collaborator, Sam, where is the band which was released on, they continued for the 6th studio album Red Pill Blues, which was released in November of 2017. With the addition of 2 other members, the band's lineup increased to 7 members. So they're no longer Maroon 5. You could say they're like Maroon 7, but they're always going to be Maroon 5 in our hearts. Which released in November 2017, with the addition of, oh God, I just wrote that, I'm sorry. The successful singles of both albums, Sugar and Girls Like You, peaked at numbers 2 and 1 on the Hot 100 chart, respectively. The band's 7th studio album, which we all know and love, Geordie, was released in June 2021. Maroon 5 has sold more than 100, get this is huge. Maroon 5 has sold more than 135 million records, making them one of the world's best-selling music artists. You do not get to the top without some serious talent and leadership. So I think, everyone, certainly the crew, but everyone has Adam. Adam and don't get me wrong, like the rest of the crew, they're talented artists. They're killer musicians, killer songwriters. I think like with Adam being sort of the face of Maroon 5, like, let's just be clear, they couldn't have done it without him. So congratulations, Adam Levine. I'm going to continue on here because there's still a lot of really interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe not that. I don't know how long that took for me to read through that. I'm gonna check this real quick. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. We're coming up on about like 24 minutes here. So I think now is probably about time to wrap up. I don't want to keep you guys too long. And truth be told, I'd like to keep these episodes a bit shorter. So kind of between like the 10, 20 minute range. So I think, I think we'll just kind of wrap up here. I definitely learned some interesting stuff today about Maroon 5. And I think overall this has been a successful podcast episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around. I think we're going to try to put the podcast videos to like season, I guess this would be season 2 of the podcast. I think we're going to try to put it on YouTube for sure, definitely. Video format, it just makes sense. I would like to also keep it on Spotify, just so that, like, if you're listening, like if you're new, and if you are new, welcome to the Maroon 5 Cover Band podcast. It's good to have you. On this podcast, if you stuck around this long, you can kind of tell what we talk about, what sort of our goal is. But we just kind of talk about Maroon 5, Adam Levine, his crew, and the Maroon 5 cover band. So like, yeah, that sort of thing. So welcome if you're new to the podcast. If you are new to the podcast, I will say you should probably go back and listen to some of the older, the season 1 of the podcast on Spotify. If you type in Maroon 5 cover band podcast, it should come right up. It's the only Maroon 5 cover band podcast. Surprisingly, I thought there would be, I don't know, more people talking about this sort of stuff, but we're kind of our own market, essentially, which is really cool. But yeah, I would definitely recommend going to Spotify, listening to the podcast. There is a little interpersonal drama that goes on between me and, like I said, Joseph Smullen, who's not here, but just it's still worth listening to because we have other, like a lot of other interesting things to say. And honestly, we have some really good conversations. So I would highly recommend going to listen to that. Definitely recommend going to our Bandcamp, which is Maroon 5, the number 5, Maroon 5 cover band. We've got a bunch of covers there. We've almost covered all of 5, the album 5 at this point. And we also have a cover of Happy Christmas, War is Over, which is originally by John Lennon. And so definitely check that out. All right, I think, yeah, that's a wrap on this podcast. Thank you so much for coming out and spending, well, I don't know how many minutes it's going to be once this is all edited, but thanks for spending that amount of time with me. I look forward to it next time. Hopefully, Joseph Smullen will be back to join me. I don't know when he's going to be back, but hopefully next time. But in the meantime, I am going to, again, take it upon myself to take the plunge and start recording the Overexposed Commentary cover album. So stay tuned for that. All right. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later.